Hello, hockey fans. Austin here with today's series preview between the Edmonton Oilers and the Vegas Golden Knights. They have finally released the schedule when these two teams are going to play Game 1, and that is coming up on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. local time. If you end up enjoying today's video, make sure to smash that like button, and if you agree with my prediction, which will be at the end of the video, let me know in the comment section below. Of course, Vegas fans, if you're tuning in, welcome in. We just had an amazing series against the Los Angeles Kings. A lot of Kings fans tuned in. Of course, this community is very welcoming, so if you come in here, we try not to be too hostile with each other. We have a fun time here. It is laid back, positive vibes always. I will be live streaming every single game during this series as well, so I hope to see a lot of you there. Oilers fans, Knights fans, Kings fans, and all fans across the globe. I cannot wait for the series to get going. This is a rematch of 2023, where the Vegas Golden Knights dismantled the Edmonton Oilers in 6 games. Back in 2023, the Oilers had a lead in all 6 games, and they lost 4 of them. And one of the biggest reasons why Edmonton lost that series, number one, Vegas was just, they were an absolute monster of a team. They ended up going on to the Stanley Cup final. They absolutely destroyed the Florida Panthers in 5 games in that Cup final. I think they won Game 5 9-3 or something outrageous. That Golden Knights team was unbelievable. The Oilers could not match their speed. They could not match their physicality. And the biggest difference maker, the biggest X factor from that 2023 series was goaltending. Adin Hill came into that series and he locked things down. Stuart Skinner, on the other hand, was pulled 3 times in that series. Could you imagine being pulled 3 times and then not starting your backup at any point in that series? Jay Woodcroft, tisk, my friend, tisk to Jay Woodcroft for that one. The Oilers right now, they're in a sort of similar situation with the goaltending. Stuart Skinner has actually lost the starting position for Edmonton in the playoffs. It is Calvin Pickard's crease for the time being. I cannot imagine Skinner is going to get another start in the postseason unless Calvin Pickard absolutely crumbles, which I'm hoping obviously doesn't happen. So in today's series preview, I'm going to be going over the projected lineup for the Edmonton Oilers. I'm going to be going over the stats for both teams up to this point in the playoffs. Take a look at who is dominating in certain categories, who has the advantage in certain categories, and then I will be giving, I'll be talking about keys to the series for both teams. I have 3 keys to the series for Edmonton, 3 keys to the series for Vegas. I will have 3 players to watch for each team in the series, and I'll give my reasoning as to why, and then I will give my series prediction at the very end, who I think is going to win, and in how many games. Last series, I predicted the Oilers in 6 over the Kings, but I'm not going to gloat about it because my bracket is so bad. Over half of my predictions are already wrong on my overall NHL bracket challenge, so it's not like I have a science to this. It's just all for fun. I can't wait to hear what you all think as well. Let me know who you think is coming out on top in this series. Let me know in how many games. Let me know who you think the X factor is going to be in the series. And with that out of the way, let's get into the projected lineup for your Edmonton Oilers. Now, this was at morning skate today, practice. The Oilers did hold a practice. Bob Stauffer tweeted this out. Top line looks like it'll be Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, and Corey Perry. Now, Corey Perry, he's up on that top line initially to start games, but I find by the second or third period, they usually will switch him out. They'll give Hyman a couple shifts. They'll give Evander Kane a couple shifts up there, but Corey Perry's up there for the time being, and they basically utilize his play behind the net, his silky smooth hands, his smartness, his high hockey IQ is what I should be saying. Corey Perry fits really well with that top line, but I think as the playoffs progress with how much faster and more defensively minded teams are going to be getting, especially a team like Vegas, Corey Perry likely won't remain on that top line long term, but that is the look right now. Connor McDavid led the Oilers in points in round 1. He had 11 points. Leon Draisaitl had 10. McDavid only had 2 goals though, so look for him to maybe shoot the puck a little bit more heading into the series against Vegas. On the second line, you have Evander Kane with Nugent Hopkins and Zach Hyman. This line looking pretty good. They don't have a whole ton of ice time together, but when they are put together, they've been very effective. I find Evander Kane has actually looked really, really good considering he had missed 10 months of hockey. So the fact that he's been able to step in and look as solid as he has and also contribute meaningfully, he had 2 goals against the Kings and 3 points in 5 games. That is a real good sign. And I find as the Oilers progress, this is a similar situation to the Oilers and Kings series, where the longer the series goes, I really do think it benefits the Edmonton Oilers. I think it benefits a lot of their players that, didn't get a lot of playing time down the stretch or didn't play at all down the stretch. But now they're getting into a regular routine. They win 6 games against the Kings. Guys like Trent Frederick on that third line, he didn't play at all down the stretch for Edmonton, but he's looking better and better each game as well. Frederick with Henrique and Connor Brown. Now, Connor Brown, big X factor against the Kings. He had 5 points in 6 games. He had 3 goals and 2 assists. Connor Brown actually led the Oilers forward group in goals. He was tied with Leon Draisaitl, who also had 3 goals. The Oilers had a ton of depth up and down their lineup. Draisaitl had 3 goals. Zach Hyman had 2. Connor Brown had 3. Nugent Hopkins had 3. Corey Perry had 2. Evander Kane had 2. Matthias Janmark had 2 goals as well. The Oilers are getting production up and down their entire lineup. Each line has kind of what you would consider a pest or a not an enforcer, but I guess someone that can get under your opponent's skin. Line 1, you have Perry. Line 2, you have Kane. Line 3, you have Frederick. Line 4, you have Podkolzin, and he is with Janmark and Victor Arvidsson. Now, I think a lot of us Oilers fans, when the season started, we envisioned him in a top 6 role. Even when the playoffs started, I think a lot of us were hoping that his good play down the stretch would translate to a top 6 role for Edmonton to produce. However, he's in a 4th line grinding role, and this line is actually being effective. They are producing some points. Podkolzin had 4 assists against the LA Kings. This is a very good line, and Chris Knoblauch, he will match this lineup against anyone. He is not worried about throwing his 4th line out, even if the other team has their top line out. So it'll be interesting to see how Vegas matches their forward group with home ice advantage. We know Bruce Cassidy. We've seen him in the past make sure that he's trying to get his line matchups the way he wants. He had that Jack Eichel line in 2023 absolutely dismantle the Nick Bukestad line for Edmonton. Yeah, remember Nick Bukestad? Oh boy, a lot of Oilers fans don't want to remember that one. Sorry, fans, to just remind you of that. But Jay Woodcroft did not make proper adjustments when he had home ice in Edmonton. Now, when it comes to defense, and when I say Jay Woodcroft didn't make adjustments at home, that, Chris Knoblauch, he makes adjustments. He's very good at that. On defense, Nurse with Bouchard, please say it ain't so. They have to split these two up. I don't like that those two are together. Yes, they can move the puck. Yes, they're producing offense. But when it comes to the defensive side, if either of them are making a mistake, the other one is never there to cover for it. Please try and separate them. I think Wallman, Bouchard, Nurse, Klingberg should be the way to go, or even Kulak, Bouchard if you want. But in any case, second pair, you'll have Wallman with Klingberg. Wallman led the defensive group with a +8 rating against the Kings. John Klingberg was an absolute animal against LA. His ability to hold the line, keep pucks alive, get his sticks in lanes, and skate out of trouble is incredibly promising for a guy that looked like his career might have ended this season. He played a bit for Edmonton during the regular season, but he looked really awkward, and then he went back down with injury. We don't know what that injury was. I assumed it was probably the hip or knee or something that was going on, but he has come back. He has come into the playoff lineup, and he's looked real, real good. That is a solid sign for Edmonton, because missing Matthias Ekholm, you need everyone to step up. You need it by committee, especially with this defensive core. They're good, but they're not a great defensive core. But they can be great if everyone is elevating their game to a higher level than what we have seen in the regular season. John Klingberg is one of those guys that has elevated his play. On the third pair, Brett Kulak with Ty Emberson. Though don't be surprised if Ty Emberson does get scratched out for Troy Stecher at some point. Depends if the Oilers are winning or losing in this series. I don't think Chris Knoblauch wants to change a winning lineup. The Oilers have won 4 straight games here. So Emberson for now is in the lineup, but Troy Stecher, he is waiting to get in. He has been ready to go for about a week now. We'll see if he gets in for Emberson. I don't think Emberson's looked poor, but it's very obvious that the coaching staff, they are running 5D very heavily, and Emberson is the guy that goes out for penalty kills, and he'll get a shift here and there in periods just to give other guys a rest. They don't trust him a lot with the big minutes, but Emberson has been looking better. I thought game 1 and 2 against the Kings, he looked completely out of sorts, but as that series went along, just like with the rest of the team, he started to look much more comfortable, and that's a real good sign for the Oilers. And of course, as I mentioned, in the crease, Calvin Pickard is going to get the start. He is going to be the starter in this series for Edmonton. Stuart Skinner is going to be the backup. In 2023, Stuart Skinner was yanked 3 times. The Vegas Golden Knights, they found ways to just turn Skinner into Swiss cheese. That was his rookie season. I think a lot of fans, none of us overreacted back then to the Oilers goaltending. I think we all knew that Stuart Skinner in a rookie position, we're all like, you know what? He'll probably get better. He'll grow from that. But as the years have gone on, last year Skinner got pulled a couple times. They had to go to Calvin Pickard against Vancouver just to save their season. And then this year, Skinner, after 2 games against the Kings, he was yanked, and it is now Calvin Pickard's crease. Stuart Skinner just doesn't have that dog in him this season. But if something happens with Pickard, I mean, Skinner's there. Hopefully, if Skinner is ever put into the crease in this series, he's able to help this team out. But for now, Calvin Pickard, this is his crease, the team. They are confident in front of him, and hopefully they can keep giving him run support. The Oilers' offense has been great. It's going to be a lot tougher to score against Vegas, though, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to the playoff stats between these two teams, the Vegas Golden Knights, they are 4-2. They dismantled the Minnesota Wild in 6 games. However, something interesting. Vegas was outscored at 5-on-5, and they were outscored just in general in the series. So it shows that Vegas, they won their series against Minnesota, but is there some cracks showing in their play? Well, let's find out. Their power play ranks 7th in the playoffs, 27.8%. Their penalty kill ranks 6th. Very respectable, very middle of the pack. Small sample size, right? 6 games is a small sample. Not going to overreact to the special teams too much. They score 3 goals per game. They give up 3.17 goals per game, so that's an interesting one to keep an eye on. Adin Hill, he had a really tough first 4 games of that series against Minnesota. But games 5 and 6, he played phenomenal. I would even argue game 4, he played pretty good too. But those first 3 games, he definitely looked pretty shaky in that crease. And Vegas as a team, I think they just started to lock it down defensively. They were much, much lower event in terms of the chances they were giving up. And they were much more opportunistic on their own chances. Vegas, though, expected goals for at 5-on-5. Some of the advanced metrics here, they rank 3rd. High danger chances for percentage, they rank 8th. And shots for percentage, they rank 3rd. So Vegas has a very good 5-on-5 team. They are generating chances, and even though they were outscored at 5-on-5 against Minnesota, the stats don't really reflect that should have been happening. I think that they were getting goalied a little bit of a PDO low, and this is a team that is obviously going to regress back to normal if they continue to play 5-on-5 the way they have. Vegas is a good team. In fact, I would consider them a great team. The Oilers have their work cut out for them. Now, speaking of the Oilers, they are also 4-2 in the postseason. They've won 4 straight. Their power play ranks 2nd in the playoffs, 38.5%. Their penalty kill, though, dead last, 60%. If Vegas is getting power plays, Edmonton has to find a way to lock things down. They have to kill some penalties. They have to kill about 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row if you have to. Cannot give the other team any momentum with their power play. This penalty kill for Edmonton, you can say it's bad luck. You can say they need a save. You can say that they need to buckle down. Whatever the case is, I agree with all of it. At the end of the day, find a way to make a kill because their penalty kill against LA was absolutely abysmal. Not good enough. You will not go far. You will not make a run to the Stanley Cup final with special teams that look like this. Goals per game, though, the Oilers, they rank number 1, 4.5 per game. Goals against per game, another story, though. They rank 14th. They give up 4 goals per game, though I would argue games 1 and 2 really skewed that number a little bit. And then you had the overtime game where they won 4-3. And then that last game against the Kings got a late one to score their 4th of the game. But the Oilers have been playing better when it comes to limiting shot chances, limiting goals against. Calvin Pickard has a .293 goals against average, so that is much lower than the 4 goals against average that the team has. Hopefully the Oilers continue to play well in front of Pickard, limit the chances against him, and hope that he can keep making the saves that he's supposed to make. That's all we ask for in oil country. Make the saves you're supposed to make. Expected goals for the Oilers, they rank number 1 at 5-on-5, over 60%. If the Oilers play like that at 5-on-5, if they control the play that much against Vegas, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that they can come out on top in this series. High danger chances for percentage ranks first as well. 62% of the high danger chances were in the Oilers' favor against the Kings. Again, another incredible 5-on-5 statistic. The Oilers' possession metrics are tops of the league in the playoffs right now, and their shots for percentage ranks second, only below the Colorado Avalanche, who just the biggest choke job imaginable against Dallas last night. So rip Avs fans. I'm sorry that happened. For the Oilers, they have the lead in most of the statistical categories here, but as the playoffs have shown us, this is unpredictable, right? From one series to the other, not everything carries over. I imagine things are going to be much, much tougher here for Edmonton. And the way Vegas plays, they will be harder, in my opinion. Not that the Kings weren't hard, but it's the way Vegas plays. They just have that system that, they make things low event, and they make it really, really hard to penetrate the middle of the ice, and they make it really hard for teams to get into that inner slot area for chances. The LA Kings, they just got exhausted as their series went along. For Vegas, Bruce Cassidy, he doesn't run a very top-heavy lineup the way Jim Hiller did. Edmonton has to be prepared for that. Vegas is not going to tire out the way the Kings did. Now, keys to the series for the Edmonton Oilers. They have 3 keys to this series if they want to come out on top. Number 1, they have to limit rush chances against. The Oilers, they're still the worst rush defending team in the entire NHL. A lot of the Kings' goals were coming off of the rush. They have to defend the neutral zone better, and they have to defend their own blue line better, and they have to have proper back support. And for goodness sakes, if you have 3 forwards deep, if I see any defenseman try and keep a puck in at the offensive blue line with 3 forwards already deep, the way Bouchard did numerous times, the way Nurse did, the way Wallman did, the way Emberson did, stop that. I know that they're trying to be aggressive and produce offense, but against Vegas, you have to find a way to slow things down, get back into your defensive formation, and then attack on transition. You cannot get into a run and gun against Vegas, especially with their speed and their skill. They are going to kill Edmonton if they allow too many rush chances. Number 2 for Edmonton, key to the series, play with the lead. The Oilers were behind in literally all 6 games against the LA Kings. And yes, they won 4 of them, and that's fantastic. Couple unbelievable comebacks. In fact, I would call them almost unsustainable comebacks. If the Oilers want to beat the Vegas Golden Knights, they have to get a lead, and they have to play with the lead much more often. You cannot get behind against teams like this and expect to come back. Is it good that the Oilers can come back? Of course it's great. That's a great thing that the Oilers, even if they're down by 4 goals or 3, that they're not out of the game. But this is the Stanley Cup Playoffs. This is now round 2. This is a very recent Stanley Cup winning team that they're going up against. If you don't have the lead, and if you're not playing with the lead and making the other team chase, you're not going to win a lot of hockey games. Get the lead, play with the lead, defend the lead, and push the issue against Vegas. And number 3, key to the series for Edmonton, special teams is massive. I can't imagine there is going to be a lot of power plays with these 2 teams. In the regular season, neither team had a lot of power plays for. Vegas was, I think they had the least amount of penalties taken, but they also had the second least amount of power plays given to them. So they play a style that prevents a lot of power plays for either side. This is going to be a 5-on-5 series, but if you do get a power play or 2 in a game, you have to make them pay. Or if Vegas gets a power play or 2 in a game, you have to lock it down. That could be the difference maker. These 2 teams are very good at 5-on-5. It's going to be a 50-50 battle, in my opinion, at evens. The special teams is where I think this series could come down to one or the other. For Edmonton, figure out how to kill a penalty. Please, that's all I ask. For the Vegas Golden Knights, there are 3 keys to the game. Number 1, attack with speed. If the Oilers are supposed to limit rush chances, the Knights, they want to attack with speed. They want to attack the middle of the ice. They want to go east to west. They want to go north and south. They are a good puck-moving team. And if the Oilers are not paying attention, if they are not managing the puck the way that you need to against a team like Vegas, a good possession team like Vegas, they're going to kill you. For Edmonton, they have to find a way to get through that neutral zone. And also, if you have nothing, just dump and chase. Because Vegas, if you turn the puck over in the neutral zone, They're going on the attack, and they are far, far too good to allow clean zone entries. For Vegas, if they're attacking with speed consistently, doesn't matter what the goaltender is in the net, doesn't matter which defenders you have on the ice for Edmonton, they're going to make you pay, and it's going to be a short series. Number 2, for Vegas, home ice advantage. If this series, if the Oilers steal one game on the road in their first 2 games, if they win on either Tuesday or Thursday, and they go back to Rogers Place tied at 1 in the series, that's a problem for Vegas because the Oilers have shown that Rogers Place, it is a hornet's nest to play in if you're the opponent. The Oilers are undefeated at home, and every single game at Rogers Place is absolutely bonkers. If you're Vegas, take advantage of home ice. They have to go 2-0. If they give up one of those home games to the Oilers early in this series, the advantage immediately goes to Edmonton because the chances of Edmonton losing at Rogers Place is much, much lower than it was 2 years ago when these two teams played. I think Calvin Pickard is a better option than Stuart Skinner. I can't see Pickard being pulled 3 times the way Skinner was. Obviously, knock on wood, hope that doesn't happen, but Vegas is a good team. They're a great home team. They have to take advantage of home ice because the Oilers and Rogers Place, it is a hornet's nest, and you do not want to be tied or down in the series going into Edmonton. That would just be absolutely killer. Take advantage of home ice, Vegas. And number 3, aggressive forecheck. The Los Angeles Kings were the most effective against the Oilers when they had that aggressive forecheck. They had 2 forwards pressuring at all times. It causes chaos for Edmonton's defenders. They get pressured. They rush the puck. They try and hit the glass with it. They try and go glass and out. And if you do that, you don't get your proper line change. Vegas comes in on the rush, or you give up the puck and Vegas attacks on transition in the zone. Be aggressive at all times. If Vegas plays with an aggressive forecheck, it's very difficult for Edmonton to maintain puck possession and attack the way that they want, either through the neutral zone or offensive zone. If Vegas has an aggressive forecheck, it's going to be really tough for the Oilers to win this series. Now, when it comes to my players to watch for Vegas, 3 players to watch in this series. Number 1, Jack Eichel. The Jack Eichel line in 2023 absolutely dominated the Edmonton Oilers. The shot attempts, the goals for, goals against. Jack Eichel also had a terrific season for Vegas. He is their game breaker. He is their X factor. Yes, Vegas, they do rely kind of, it is a by committee team, but Jack Eichel's the game breaker. This is a guy that went 2nd overall in 2015. He was picked after Connor McDavid. There's a reason why he went 2nd overall. He is a terrific player. In any other draft year, Jack Eichel is a number 1 overall pick. He is phenomenal. They're going to need him to produce a little bit more than he did against Minnesota. He had 5 points in 6 games, but he was a -4. It'll be interesting to see who Bruce Cassidy puts out against the Eichel line, or who he wants to match the Eichel line against on Edmonton. I know Chris Knobloch, he's comfortable with his lines, but after 2 games, when it goes back to Edmonton, if they know which line is struggling against Eichel, make sure that when Knobloch has home ice, you match properly against him. Number 2, Alex Pietrangelo. Now, why is Alex Pietrangelo a player to watch for Vegas? Well, he is the defender that they rely on the most. He averages the most amount of ice time other than Noah Hanifin, and there's a bit of history between Pietrangelo and the Oilers. Back in that 2023 series, Pietrangelo tried to chop off the arm of Leon Draisaitl. Look for him to be an absolute menace in corners. Watch his stick work. I don't think he's going to do the lumberjack slash again because the league will probably be looking out for that, but he is very tough to play against. He is their best defenseman, in my opinion, and they are going to have success as long as he is also having success on the ice. He had 3 points against Minnesota. He was a plus rating. Good metrics. Alex Pietrangelo, terrific D-man. He's a player to watch. And, of course, third player to watch for the Vegas Golden Knights is Adin Hill. He did struggle a little bit against Minnesota early in that series, but his game did start to turn around. He ended up finishing with an .880 save percentage and a very respectable .283 goals against average. He was pulled once Schmid got into the crease in one of those games for Vegas. They don't want to be going to their backup Schmid. Adin Hill is the guy. If the Oilers can get on top of Adin Hill early in the series, find a way to steal one in Vegas, their chances are great. But Adin Hill has that cup-winning mentality. He has beaten the Oilers in the playoffs before, so he is the goaltender to watch for Vegas. Now, my players to watch for Edmonton. Number one, well, if Aiden Hill's a player to watch for Vegas, Calvin Pickard is the player to watch for the Oilers. This is going to be the difference in this series. Can Calvin Pickard continue to handle the workload of a starter? He has not started. Well, I mean, he started 4 games in a row now, but he hadn't done that in an Oilers uniform before, and now he's starting every game in the playoffs. And yes, he has had some rest. Good few days off here before the start of round 2. That's great when it comes to load managing, but can Calvin Pickard continue to sustain that? Will he tire out? The longer this series goes, I said it favors Edmonton, but that comes to their forward and defense group. Does it favor Edmonton when it comes to the goaltending? He's the player to watch for Edmonton. Keep an eye on him, and we'll see and look for any signs of fatigue in this series. Number 2, Evander Kane. He is the forward to watch for Edmonton. He's getting better every single game. He was a difference maker against the Kings. He had that tying goal in Game 3, that big comeback that they had before Jim Hiller had the worst coach's challenge of the history of the NHL. For Evander Kane, I think he's getting better every single game, and they're going to need him to show up. He had a pretty big series against Vegas in 2023. We all know that infamous picture of him blowing that kiss to that Vegas fan who's giving him the finger in Vegas. Evander Kane's going to be looking to muck things up after whistles. He's going to be trying to get under the skin of Vegas Golden Knights, and he's going to be looking to produce some points next to Nugent Hopkins and Zach Hyman. And number 3, the defenseman to watch for Edmonton is Darnell Nurse. I thought he had an up and down series against the Kings. I thought he started the series horribly, but as that series went along, he got better and better. Not next to Evan Bouchard, but you have to keep an eye on Darnell Nurse. If the Oilers are going to have any chance to beat Vegas in this series, Darnell Nurse has to play like he did in games 5 and 6 against LA. Now, in saying all of that, who is going to come out on top in this series? What is my series prediction? Do the Oilers come out and revenge that 2023 loss, or does Vegas continue to roll and go after another Stanley Cup in their quest for the best trophy in sports? Well, my prediction, folks, and again, I'm going with the homer bias here. I like Edmonton's chances. I think the Oilers are a better team than they were in 2023. They have better depth. I trust Calvin Pickard more than Stuart Skinner. I'm going with the Oilers in 6 with the smiley face because it makes me happy predicting this. Of course, this is not scientific. We don't know how this series is going to play out until it comes to an end. So, let me know what you think, hockey fans. Let me know what you thought of this video. Do you agree or disagree with my takes? Do you think Edmonton has a chance against Vegas? Or do you think Vegas' experience at winning a Stanley Cup and that 2023 series will play any factor in Edmonton being able to win or not this time around? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash that like button and, of course, subscribe to the channel if you're not yet subscribed as we continue to build the best community here on YouTube. We'll see you for Game 1. I'll have a pregame report up on Tuesday morning, and then I'll be live Tuesday night with the commentary. I cannot wait. Let's have some fun in round 2 against Vegas. Golden Knights fans, good luck. Preemptive handshakes for you, and I can't wait. It's going to be a blast. Let's go Oilers. Tell someone that you love them, and as always, fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers. We'll see you soon, Oil Country.